Okay, now we're on to ornament number 5. And so this one, I've been like super into hot air balloons. Most likely probably because of the second Wicked movie that came out. But who doesn't love a hot air balloon? Where I live, they have hot air balloons that like float through the sky in both of the counties close by, but I've never been on one. My childhood best friends went a couple years ago and loved it, so it's on my list. Okay, so we've wetted it down, and so the balloon part's pretty easy. I'm just going to make it, and so kind of just do a round balloon shape. There we go. And then we'll do the lines of the balloon going up. Okay, so there's my basic balloon shape. And then I need a basket below it. And so I'll do like the wicker lines. Okay. There we go. So there we have our balloon shape. And then I'll let that dry a little bit, and let's get some blue in the sky. There we go, pretty blue sky. Then we'll get the basket yellow. And then let's get our Star of Bethlehem up here. I'm going to move it over just a little bit. I felt like I was a little off. And I think I'll just do white for the star. So let me wash it out a little bit to get the star going. There you go. Oh, I love that. Okay, so let's let that dry a little bit, and then we can add some brighter white to it. Okay, and then while that dries, I'm going to put some greenery on the basket. Make it a little festive. We'll let that dry some. And then I just have a wet brush with a little water, and I was just kind of putting some designs in the sky. Little stars. Okay, so now I want to have my mountains show up a little bit. So let's do some brown peaks. It'd be so cool to ride a hot air balloon over a big mountain peak. And then I'm gonna do some white in there to lighten it up some. And I'm gonna do that with the paint marker. Seeing snow on top of the mountains is one of my favorites. Okay, so then we'll let the white dry a little bit, and then I'll put some more brown on it to lighten it up some, or darken it up some. So I'm going to take a gel pen and add some light to the hot air balloon. This one I think isn't working as well, so I'll try a different one. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe when I'm done with Cancer, I'll choose going on a hot air balloon to celebrate. One thing I was thinking would be fun to do is roll a dice, and for whatever the number is, that's how much the airline ticket is, and to just fly somewhere. And then roll a dice, and if you get like a 1, have $10 go towards dinner. If you get a 5, have $50 go towards dinner per person. I was thinking that sounded kind of fun. I've really wanted to go to South Carolina. I've never made it to the Carolinas, and I think it would be fun to see that part of the country. Add a little bit of lighter green. And then we'll do some red berries. Okay, and then we need a little bit more gray and brown in the mountains. So we'll add that. I'm lucky because I get to look out at mountains where I live, and they're so pretty, especially when they're snow-capped. The coolest thing that I never knew I would love is seeing hawks just kind of float in the air in one spot and then dive down. I didn't know, never really thought about hawks diving being a cool thing to see, but it was. I'm gonna add a little bit more gray in here. And then a little bit of brown. There we go. I love it. I think actually I want to add a little bit more copper to the star to help it stand out a little bit more. Yeah, I love it. And then let me grab copper marker. I'm just going to add a little bit of dots going up. There we go. And I'm going to call this one done. So let's get a loop to hang the ornament with. And then I just have one more picture frame to go, and I've got all the watercolors done. And then I was going to do a little brownstone ornament. And then we can call this one done project. There we go. Put that in. There we go. One hot air balloon. Thanks for joining me.